Wake that ass up.
Early in the morning.
The Breakfast Club.
Morning, everybody. It's DJ MV Angela Yee, Charlamagne the God. We are the Breakfast Club. We got a special guest in the building.
Now, you say we got a special guest in the building every day.
That's right.
Today, we really do got a special fucking guest.
That's right. Samuel L. Jackson is
Hey.
here. The legend, the icon. Welcome.
Good morning.
Good morning, my brother.
Good morning.
Do you like getting up this early, first and foremost?
I'm up this early every day.
Okay.
Actually, if I'm working, I'm definitely up because I'm headed to set by 5:36. But if I'm at home, I'm headed to the golf course at 6 o'clock.
Oh, so that's just part of your routine. Get up, go golf. Man, that's a good life.
And you never get
Not a
tired of
good
it?
life. I just try to make sure I'm staying in a routine that's going to work for me.
Yeah.
So I'm not shocked when it's time to go to work and they want me to get up and pay me to go to work at that time.
What's the longest break you've ever taken in between working?
Ooh, maybe. I guess when I was on Broadway, but I was still working.
Yeah, that's work still.
Yeah, but I wasn't getting up in the morning. I was just going to do the show.
Because even like this year, you have a lot of movies coming out, but in between filming, like, have you ever said, you know what, I'm going to take a 6 month
Well, I usually
hiatus?
take a month off every year, though. I take a month off and really go on vacation purposely.
That's not that long, though.
A purposeful
still.
vacation.
Yeah, you got to tell us your routine, man, because I look at you and I say to myself, I got something to look forward to at 70, because you look motherfucking good, man.
Thank you.
What do you do to stay so youthful?
I have no idea. I mean,
Come on, man, you got to have
He
some
takes
type of
butter.
routine.
I try to stay stress-free.
Okay.
That helps, you know.
What about vegan? You eat meat?
Yeah.
There goes
I
that
was a
theory.
vegan for a minute. I was a vegan for about 7 months.
And you started getting sick.
No, I didn't.
Okay.
I lost so much weight, I almost lost a job. And they said, well, if you don't gain 15, 20 pounds, we're going to have to recast. So I went straight to Shake Shack and got my life back.
You got your life back together. So what else do you do? It got to be more than just...
I do Pilates and I play golf.
That's
That's
it.
it.
How do you stay stress-free, though?
I make enough money that I don't have to worry about what's going on. You know, I mean, folks say money won't solve all the problems,
Yeah.
but it solves enough of them that I don't have to think about them.
But you didn't come from money, though? Like,
No, I didn't.
Yeah. So I was looking at you was born 20 years before the Civil Rights Act in 1964. So how,
48.
Yeah. So how different did the world look then as opposed to now?
I grew up during American apartheid. I lived in Chattanooga, Tennessee. They had signs, I knew where I could go, where I couldn't go, what I should do, what I shouldn't do, all those things. And you kind of look at life and go, okay. And then when I hear them say it now, make America great again, I go, what are they talking about?
Yeah.
Because
You know what
I
that
remember
means.
what they thought making America great again means, or
Right.
what it all means, or who needs to be, subverted or shut up or pushed back or, be in charge of.
How did that not harden your heart, though? Like growing up in that era and seeing how white people used to treat us?
Well, a loving community and people who make you understand that you are great people and there's a reason that they do this to you. That they try to keep you back because you are the richness of what the world is. That you offer something that they don't have and they know they can't have it, but they want to control it. So you listen to those people. You have the right teachers. My whole school life was black. I didn't have white teachers till I got to Morehouse. When I got to college. So I had teachers that taught my mom and her brothers and sisters, so they knew what the expectation was in my house. They knew that people expected me to go to college, so they pushed me. They loved me. They spoke to me in glowing terms and told me that I was somebody, or the books that we got that had pages torn out, they would tell me where I could get the information that I needed, or they got it for me. So people nurture you. And even the kids that they knew weren't going to college, that they knew were going into the workforce or going into the service, they guided those people into those places because the teachers cared about them, because they knew those families, and there was a community of black people that took care of each other, on both sides of town.
I got to remember that when it comes to my daughter, because when I let her see something like When They See Us, even like a movie like Django that's about slavery, she's like, why do white people do that to us? And I never know the answer to why.
What kept you focused? Because your career really got started when you got a lot older. What kept you focused during all that time to be like, I know this is for me?
I loved the theater and I loved acting, and being here in a rich community of creative people is invigorating. We went to each other's shows. We watched each other work. We went to auditions together. We talked. There was no enmity. Everybody was, great together. And when you're in a rich environment of creative people that share the same goals, everybody was trying to get somewhere, or everybody had a different idea about how it was going to happen. And there was enough going on or enough people moving. It's like we're doing a play and all of a sudden Denzel is like, he plucked out and he's gone. She's like, okay, so Denzel got their TV show, now he's doing movies. Okay, boom. Then we're doing another play and Morgan gets plucked out. Boom, he's gone. He's doing Street Smart and he starts doing all this other stuff. Alfred's gone, Wesley's gone, Fish is gone. So you know you're in the right place.
Right.
It's just a matter of when your time is coming and not being envious or jealous about it. And sometimes, like me, finding out that I was in my own way. So once I got clean, everything kind of changed. So there's a very distinct correlation of me changing my life and being focused and clear about what I needed to do and my success. So when people say, well, you go to rehab and you do this, you do that, I was a week out of rehab when I started doing Jungle Fever. So I didn't really need makeup. I was still detoxing.
Was you typecast? That sounded like you was typecast.
No. So by the time I got there, I mean, I walked on set and I went to the craft service table and the Fruit of Islam was the security. They were like, man, get away from the table. Because they thought I was just some crackhead. Yeah, Spike Man's going, no, man.
He's in the movie.
Sam, he's in the movie. But the correlation between my career changing and me getting straight is very clear. So when people talk about relapse and this, that, and the others, that is part of your recovery. It's not. It's understanding that I never did one or nothing. So as long as I understand that and I get up every day and I realize today is another day, I got to stay clean, I can still deal with it.
They
People
tell us
go,
to
yeah, but that's been 20 years there. Aren't you? I was like, still that guy.
What was your drug of choice? Was it crack?
Yeah, that was my drug of choice. Alcohol was my drug of choice. The drug of choice was the drug that was in front of me.
So how hard was it to kick all those habits?
It was just what it was. It was that time. I was tired.
Yeah.
When you get tired enough, you don't have to worry about all that other stuff. You just kind of let it go and kind of melt into it and let the world be what the world is, and look at it with clear eyes for a change.
And they said your wife was so strong with nah, you gotta go get fit. You gotta go get help right now.
Yeah. Yeah. That was. I mean, the day they found me passed out on the kitchen floor, next day I was in rehab. So.
Did you have that level of self-awareness to know, man, I got to change my lifestyle in order to change my life? Or was this just something that they made you do?
Well, she called my best friend from high school who was a drug counselor, and he found a bed for me in upstate New York. So I went straight in there. I didn't go in kicking and screaming. I went in. I was tired. And I listened to what they were saying around me, and you go through it all and you do it. And then the job came up, Jungle Fever, and, the drug counselors were like, well, you shouldn't do that job. I'm like, what are you talking about? You shouldn't be playing a crack addict. All your triggers are going to be there, pipes and lighters and da-da-da. I'm like, if for no other reason, if I never see you motherfuckers again, I'm not coming back to rehab. So that was motivation enough. But understanding how you feel and a clarity of vision and a purpose and what you see in, I had to stand up in front of my, then 8, 9-year-old daughter and say, hi, my name's Sam, I'm an addict. That's hard.
Yeah. Did she even know what that was?
Not really, but she knew that she spent enough time with me, when I was in the throes of my addiction, taking her back and forth to school, because I used to ride the bus to school with her in the morning and drop her off at school and then go, or I would sit in the playground with her while she was on the slide and do that. I push her on the swing, smoking the joint, doing what everybody else does. But she knew that when I left, I went off to do something better. When they found me laying on the floor, I wasn't well.
Right.
So that was that. So by the time I came back, and I started hanging around with her and look at her clear eyes and listening to her voice and her vision of what she wanted to do, and Daddy, do this with me, do that with me. Makes your life, makes you look at things a lot different.
Damn right.
Were
you a crackhead or a functioning crackhead?
I was functioning. I was going to work every night. I was still doing plays.
Wow.
I was working. So most of my friends wondered, why'd she lock you up? Wasn't nothing wrong with you. I was like,
you was still working.
Yeah, I was still going to work, and I wasn't stealing from the house.
Yeah.
I didn't sell the TV and nothing else. I was making money.
But once you kicked it, then you thrived, and that's the
yeah.
You talked earlier about having money and being successful. You still do 5 to 6 movies a year.
Yeah.
What energizes you and give you that motivation to still want to do it as so much?
You know, it's like I guess it's like ball players. It always bothers me to hear that they are tired because they played 3 games this week. It's like I used to play basketball every day outdoors on the concrete.
Yeah, I can't stand it
when it's hot. And theater and working in movies is like that to me. It's like theater was hard. I had to get up, go to rehearsal, go do something every night from beginning to end. 3 hours of a play from beginning to end,
mistakes.
live in front of people. Movies, I get up, I go to work. A long day is 3 pages. And yes, a 12-hour day, but if I boiled it down to how much work did I do that day, I might have worked an hour and a half of those 12 hours. Most of the rest of the time, I'm in my trailer, sleep, watching Judge Judy, eating sandwiches, watching a movie, reading a book, doing nothing. So, yeah, I go to that job.
You go to that one.
Yeah, and it pays way better than the job I used to have.
Gotcha.
So, yeah, I go to it. Plus, I love it. I love the idea of being able to go somewhere, do something else, be somebody else, generally in a place that I normally wouldn't have gone. Like I just finished doing a movie in Croatia, which was like, oh, wow, this is a dope place. Look at this place. So you get to explore that when you're not working. And being a storyteller and an artist is one of those things. It's a blessing. There are only so many acting opportunities in a lifetime, and I want to take all the ones that come before me that I want to do, as often as I get a chance to do them. Writers get up and write, painters get up and paint. I'd like to get up and act.
Gotcha.
How serious do you take being the highest grossing actor of all time? Because they say $7.4
Not at all,
billion
'cause it ain't my money.
ain't your money.
over
That's
$6
what I want to
billion.
know. Like, do you give
It's a dubious honor.
Is
It's
it?
great. Well, I mean, it means that I've been on a bunch of movies that people liked that were popular. And I like doing popcorn movies. I don't have this whole thing about, oh my God, I'm a serious actor. It's like, yeah, I'm a serious actor. I'm a serious actor. Actors make money. You put butts in seats. You make money for people.
Yeah.
You get to make more movies. So that's what I do. And I like doing movies that I want to go see. And I like movies full of gun violence. I like violent movies. That's what I like. I like scary movies. I like horror movies. I like action movies. So I'll make them. I'll make a serious movie from time to time because I want to help the writer, director, or there's somebody in it that I want to work with. But I'm not necessarily looking for, no award-winning da-da-da. I'm just looking to go to work and have some fun.
Do you ever get mad at that stat, though? Like, you see that number and be like, man, I ain't got none of that?
No.
He's doing well.
Yeah.
I got my part.
He takes off a month every year.
I know what my deal was. And sometimes you're fortunate enough you have a back end. So if the movie doesn't make a lot of money, you keep getting paid.
There you go.
How much has Hollywood changed from when you first started to where we are now? Because we always hear about the different ebbs and flows and difficulty for people getting work and just inclusivity and all of those conversations that we're very focused on.
Well, it's changed drastically just because of the number of platforms you have to work. First of all, when I got there, everything I read had Denzel's, Fish's, or Forrest Whitaker's fingerprints on it. So they either turned it down or they were thinking about it and didn't think about it fast enough. And I was like, yeah, I'll do it. So I did it.
So you was always the fourth person on the call sheet?
I could have been at that time, and that's how it worked. I didn't care. I was going to work. I was doing what I was doing. But over the years, because of, like I said, the number of platforms, Netflix,
Hulu,
Amazon, Hulu, Apple, all of that, the independent film world, there's so many jobs now, and there's so many things. And because young writers, young directors populate their programs with the world as they saw it when they grew up. They went to school with Hispanic, Asian, Black, white, whoever. They populate their stories with those people because that's who they were and that's who they are. So there's a lot more opportunity for people to work. Consequently, it still comes down to a lot of times that same thing that, I used to bitch about it because I spent my time going to acting school. There are a lot of people who still do go to Juilliard and Yale and all these other people. But a lot of YouTube stars getting jobs now. Still people from the music industry just decide the next day and say, shit, I'm an actor. I can act. And somebody give them a chance to do it. Sometimes they turn out to be okay. Sometimes not so much. But there's room now for everyone to work.
Who surprised you by being really great on set that might have come from the world of Instagram or YouTube, and you were like, oh, they were actually really good?
I watched Meth develop over the years.
Nothing, man. Yeah.
How was
He
Buster when
developed
you worked with Buster?
Buster was fine, and Buster was great as what Buster was there to be. But Buster was still,
Buster.
a person from the music industry who you go, what? We had 6:30 call. Buster be there by 8.
Lord have mercy. I know that got to drive you crazy.
Man, don't drive me crazy. We just do something else.
Man.
I'll just say, can I do so and so and so and so and so? And yeah, you do that, and then you show up and you do what you do, and he's fine doing that.
Right. Right.
Is Samuel L. Jackson still coachable? Like, can you still learn new things in this business since you've been
I
doing it
learn
so long?
stuff all the time.
Okay.
Yeah, and sometimes it's just that I don't want to work with this person again.
Yeah.
And sometimes it's that wow, that's a very smart person. I think I never wanted to be that. Well, back in the day, we used to do it like so and so. But I do think though that since they stopped using film, there's a difference in how young filmmakers approach what they do. That they spend a lot more time wasting time because they don't understand the economics of what it meant. When you had to use film, you had to use the film, then you had to send it off to be developed, then you had to watch it, then you had to process it, then you had to figure it and do all this stuff out. Now they got a chip. They just roll and roll and roll and roll and roll and roll and roll, and you end up shooting a whole bunch of stuff you don't need. And it's a day waster, and they kill crews because crew members work hard, and you don't want to run your crew in the ground. So I'm constantly trying to let them know that this is a team thing. We're the least important people out here. It's that the guy's got to get the lights right. That guy's got to get that. That guy's got to pull the focus. And if you work them to death and they're tired, then they're not going to do the kind of job they need to do. That's going to be subpar, and it's going and we all suffer because of it.
Now, what role did you pass up and be like, damn, I shouldn't have passed up that role?
None.
If there's any.
None.
No.
I mean, I've read films that I didn't do that people did, and I feel like I was in the Matrix because I dodged a bullet. It's like,
oh, that was a bad.
And then there are films that I passed up that were successful that I'm glad they were successful because I would have done it differently, but I wouldn't have. I don't think I would have had fun doing it. I always firmly believe that you only do the things that are for you.
Right. Which
I read that you almost lost your role in Pulp Fiction to another actor.
Yeah.
How you think that would have changed the trajectory of your career if that would have happened?
None, because I mean, I'd already won this award at the Cannes Film Festival for Jungle Fever, and I was getting the call at that time, so I did a couple of jobs after that, that were between that and Pulp Fiction and what happened in there. Pulp Fiction was an Academy Award nomination, which I didn't win, but like I tell people all the time, very seldom does an Academy Award nomination move the comma on your check.
Yeah.
It's all about the number of asses you put in seats.
Absolutely.
That you're in.
Who's the other actor in that movie?
The actor?
The one that you almost lost the role to. Who was that?
Oh, he's in the movie.
Oh, he's in the movie.
Yeah, he's actually in it.
Was it a brother?
He could be called a brother. He's brown. He's brown.
So both of y'all ended up with the roles. It was still good.
Both of us ended up in the movie. He had a smaller part in the movie.
Now you got kicked out of Morehouse?
For a minute.
Now why'd you get thrown out of Morehouse, and then how did they get you back in? How did they allow you to come back in?
Thrown out. God damn.
They said he got thrown out.
Well, basically, we locked the board of trustees in a building.
Oh, I heard about that.
Somebody.
You kidnapped the people.
Well, we didn't kidnap them. They were right there. They just didn't want to talk to us. The board of trustees, we asked to talk to them, and they said we don't have time. So we took the chains off the walkway and went down the street to the hardware store and bought a padlock and went inside and chained the door shut and said, talk to us now. Okay.
What were y'all trying to talk about that was so important?
No black studies, no student involvement on the trustee board, no community involvement, and we were sitting right in the middle of some projects, So that was lots of different things.
Right.
Real shit.
The actual black members of the board didn't even have a real vote.
Wow.
So we were trying to get things changed, and they said fine. We did it, and then they did the whole bullshit. Yeah, well, we get it, and you guys will give you amnesty. So when everybody left, when school was out, they called a specific group of us back and summarily kicked us out of school. while that was happening. And then, you know, in the middle of the next year or so, my mom threatened to sue him. So like, okay, he can come back.
Yeah, let you back in.
Wow. Now you worked with John Singleton on the first Shaft film, right? How did him passing, you know, change? How did it change the significance
Shaft
of this film?
His first.
Not
Shaft.
at all. The film was done.
It was done.
The film was finished, wrapped in the can. Tim was off doing something else. He and Tim were good friends. Actually, John and I were about to do a film this fall.
Wow.
You know, so I was kind of bummed.
Is that film still gonna happen?
I was in Croatia. Yeah, it's gonna happen. Guess I'll find the right director now. But yeah, I was really bummed because I had just seen him. We had just talked. We had just spent some time together talking about this other film, how we wanted it to happen, and how much fun we were gonna have.
You didn't want John on Shaft? You didn't?
I didn't have anything to do with that.
Okay, got you.
But no, John was busy doing his TV shows. TV show was dope.
Yeah.
Yeah, Snowfall.
Snowfall.
Yeah.
That TV show was awesome.
So
Do you
let's
love Shaft?
The movie, the character, the Richard character, my character.
That was just crazy how you
What do
asked
you
that
mean?
question like that.
What are we talking about?
Yeah, did
How
you
does Shaft make you feel?
Because whoever wrote
What do you?
those lines,
I'm trying to get a soundbite.
Was it painful to have 3 shafts instead of 1?
It's always good. Like I said, more shaft than you can handle. That was a good tagline.
I was just talking about the movie in general, though, just the whole franchise.
Yeah. You know, when I was young in '71, when I'm sitting in the theater watching the first one, you know, it's like it's a complete revelation because I hadn't been in New York yet. I was still in Atlanta, so Harlem looked like this mystical, dark, dangerous, sexy place. It was like, oh shit, I want to check that out. And then you got this dude. He's like cool. For us, before Shaft, the cool black person was Link Hayes.
I don't even know who that is.
Clarence Williams III.
Oh,
he was
yeah,
on Mod
yeah,
Squad.
yeah, okay,
He had his
okay.
afro and little dark glasses.
Yeah, I remember from Tales from the Hood.
Little army jacket.
Yeah.
It's like totally dope. So that was us. And then Richard changed that whole dynamic, you know, being, you know, sex machine for all the chicks, the leather coats, the good fro, you know, the tough guy, friend to all the brothers, you know, connected in all these different places in Harlem. And the motherfucker could just step in traffic and car stop for him. So, like, fuck, this is dope. And then that started the blaxploitation era. So by the time John came to me in 2000 and said, yeah, man, we're going to do another Shaft. I'm like, well, why? This dude's still alive.
Yeah.
You know, why the fuck are you doing another Shaft? And it's like our first black superhero. He's a mythologically cool, dope-ass person that, you know, set a standard
It felt untouchable.
for blackness. So he's like, well, it's time. You know, we need one for the new generation, da-da-da. And I thought about it and was like, okay, but if I'm in it, then Richard's got to be in it, so they'll know that I'm not replacing him.
Wow.
He's still John Shaft. So I get a chance to create whoever I want to create. So I had a chance to create an angrier, edgier John Shaft.
Absolutely.
And, you know, no film like that is complete without a great villain. And thank God, you know, we had Jeffrey. Because in the original script, Christian Bale was like the main bad guy. And I was looking at that going, I can just drive this house and shoot him. You know, why are we doing this? But this guy, Peoples, I need to work on this character. So they worked on the Peoples character, and Jeffrey just came in and killed it. Yeah.
I think it's dope how they merged the 3 generations. Like, I seen the Shaft with you and your original one with my pops. And my pops was the fan of the original one.
Exactly.
And now I have a son, so now when it comes out, we all go together. It merges and
You're
explains
3
the story.
generations.
So
3
you've
generations.
experienced 3 generations of Shaft.
But I love the fact that it does that. How was it working with the young actors?
See, it's crazy though because the music. First thing, the music connects you.
Absolutely.
Even before you saw the first
Right,
one,
we all
your
know
dad
that
was
music.
playing that soundtrack.
Absolutely.
So the music is always part of our culture.
Yeah.
Once it was out there, Isaac did that. That music
Yes.
is
Yep.
like boom, cemented it up.
So why didn't they use it for
So
this
when
movie?
you hear it,
They did.
did.
They
Or
did.
somebody told me that they didn't clear it for this movie or something.
No,
It's
and
all
over the
his
trailer,
son
didn't he?
actually gave us music that Isaac never released.
Wow, that's
Gotcha.
amazing.
And he was
Wow.
around the set a lot, Isaac Hayes Jr. So he actually gave us music that was never released. When they came to me and said, we want to do another Shaft, but we want to do it as a comedy, I was like, well, you know,
He got to be smooth still.
Shaft's pretty serious in our community. You know, we can't take the mythology and make him a buffoon.
Right.
You know, we can find a way to make some humor here. And then they said, well, we'll bring his son who was raised in the suburbs, doesn't know anything about it, but he has to come to you for help. So when he gets there, you pretty much got to teach him what it means to be a shaft in Harlem.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, okay, we can make some hay out of this. So we, messed around with it and came up with it, and it works out. And Jesse's a good kid. Mm-hmm. I like Jesse. I used to watch his TV show, Survivor's Remorse.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, that was a great show.
Yeah. So I auditioned with a lot of kids. He was the one that stood out, and there's a very interesting contrast and a very great dynamic between he and I. It works really well. We have a really good chemistry together. Mm-hmm. And his mom is played by Regina Hall, who is just an amazing
phenomenal
actress.
Absolutely.
She kills it.
So let me ask you about Harlem Today, right? Because this is Shaft 2019. Mm-hmm. So what kind of role does Harlem Today play? Because it is different than what Harlem was like even 20 years ago.
Well, if you look at ours, you can't really tell that. Mm-hmm. It looks like it did when I lived up there in the 70s. It was funny though, because the first day we pulled up to work in Harlem, the first 8 people we saw were white.
Walking different Harlem.
Yeah. I was like,
with a Starbucks cup in their hand.
Where we at? What street is this? So it was pretty out there to see that, and the change of the, I guess, culture.
Yeah, because you've seen it since Juice.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah. And I lived on 143rd Street between Amsterdam and Broadway for 19 years.
Right.
That was our house. So to see it, or to be able to walk from my house to 125th Street or walk up and down 125th Street, I mean, I missed the, dude selling bootleg tapes.
They still out there on 125th?
Not too much anymore.
No one's selling bootleg tapes anymore.
I mean, not tape, but you can still catch some old DVDs. Hell yeah, especially when it comes to
People don't even
old
have
DVDs.
People don't even have DVD players.
They still sell like hidden colors and all that stuff like that. Like definitely still do sell a little bit of it. A little bit of it, not a lot.
Yeah. Well,
They're not making much money.
That's still the people selling, African jewelry and patchouli, and little incense.
The oils,
yeah.
Shea butter.
Yeah, you can get that.
Yeah.
But, the licorice root and all that other stuff that I was used to getting when I walked up and down the street and seeing it, it's changed.
Yeah, a lot.
What about social media and modern technology in this Shaft?
He's the kid that understands that in another kind of way that my analog ass doesn't necessarily understand. That's part of the generational difference that we use in the film to create humor and how he can show me things that I didn't know. And there are some slightly un-PC jokes in here that he helps fix also. There's a whole joke about this organization called Brothers Watching Brothers. That we keep questioning him about.
That sounds like the sequel to Shaft right there.
Yeah, right. And it's funny how that plays out. Because we shot a lot of the movie in Atlanta, so when you say Brothers Watching Brothers, they go, oh, the hell, just immediately jump on that. Oh, yeah. Leonard's Mall. It's like, oh, man.
That casting call for Shaft in Atlanta got to be funny as hell.
I didn't say that.
But that got to reflect, that got to translate to real life for you, too, though, as far as social media, right?
For sure. Yeah.
That's got to be a culture shock to you in a lot of ways.
Atlanta?
No, not Atlanta, man. Social media.
Well, Sam Jackson or John Shaft?
You in real life, Samuel L. Jackson.
I got a gang of followers.
Yeah, he's pretty good on there.
I know, but I'm saying when
I'm
people...
not bad with my social media. I manage it myself, which is always amazing. People, they always go, well, somebody else is doing this. No, it's me.
I feel like it has to be you.
Because I disappear sometimes and, I show back up.
But what about when you go to your mentions and they talking crazy to you about something?
I don't care about that. My daughter told me a long time ago, don't interact.
Yeah.
I read that shit.
Yeah. Anything ever hurt your feelings?
I read shit. I block shit. I block motherfuckers.
Oh, there you go.
Going.
That's dope. You got blocked by Samuel L. Jackson.
Was there anything that ever hurt your feelings?
No, motherfuckers don't know me.
Yeah.
How are you as a dad and a husband? Because you are the curse king. You will curse and were you like that as a dad? And
he ain't cursed the whole interview. I don't
Pretty
know.
much.
You have, Charlamagne.
Yeah, pretty much.
Oh.
But you probably used to hearing me do it, so you don't.
Yeah, I didn't even
It
know.
slid right past
you're
us.
right.
I'm that guy. I mean, I never baby talked to my daughter. I just talked to her.
What do you mean? No Google Gaga.
Now, you're not supposed to do that. You're supposed to talk to them like
I talk to her.
they're adults.
I heard her, say "fuck you" to her friends when she was little.
What did you say? Good girl.
I go, look, you can talk like that to your friends, but you can't talk like that to grown people.
Okay.
And she'd be like,
You ask, what did they do? And you're like, yeah, fuck them.
no, I can hear him talking. I can hear him talking or whatever. Or my wife tells this story. We actually went to a friend of ours' wedding in Detroit, and this lady was carrying Zoe, and she said, "Baby, you want some of this food?" And Zoe looked, and she was like, "What is that shit?" And the lady was like, "What?" And then she said, "Who, baby?" And she said, No, that shit looks fucked up. And the lady just put her down. It's like, who baby is this? But that's who she is. So.
Yeah.
But we never shielded her or talked to her. Plus, she went to the theater with us all the time. When she was small, we had to go to work. So we'd take her to the theater. She'd hang out with the stage manager. She'd go backstage, collect valuables, talk to all the actors, hang out with them. So
She was a cool kid growing
she's
up.
a very cool kid growing up. Now she's still a cool kid. She got a great job. She's good work ethic. She produces shows like Top Chef and Top Chef Masters. And
Oh, dope.
She just
Dope.
did she did last season's Project Runway.
Nice.
So
Would you go back to Broadway? I know your wife's there now. Would you go back?
yeah, I think about it all the time. I mean, I like doing plays. I like the live audience. I mean, nothing beats the sound of that.
Right.
That's. I mean, those checks they give you in Hollywood is great, but it's not like I see them.
Okay.
But I love the applause. I love going to the theater. So I'm giving it some thought. I'm just waiting on the right thing to come along. So yeah.
You've been married, man, 38 years, right? Or longer?
Be 40 this year.
40.
39,
Oh,
yeah.
congratulations,
39.
man. Give us
They give
young,
a round of applause.
Yeah,
for
man,
that.
round of applause.
Big deal.
Give us young men some tips on how to have that kind of longevity in a marriage.
I guess like my wife says, you got to have some amnesia.
I heard her say that. I was like, yeah.
Both of you.
Yeah.
Both of you. You got to have a little amnesia from hit it from time to time. And understand that when you're in a bad place, there's a way to work it out. I mean, it's easy to walk away. But to create a strong relationship, you got to work through things sometimes, and you just do it. And I guess sometimes we're fortunate enough that there is an issue that I got to go on location or she goes to work somewhere, and it gives us time to
Miss
have
each
some
other.
space,
Right.
to think about it, let it breathe, and you're able to look at it. And sometimes you just got to say you're sorry when you ain't.
Yeah.
And you got to own it. Own that, own the I'm sorry, and just let it go and just keep on moving.
Well, today is National Black Men Don't Cheat Day. So, National Black Men
We just
Don't
came up with
Cheat
that,
Day.
man. Black men don't
you
cheat.
made that shit?
And there ain't no makeup. We changing the narrative.
That's right.
Black men don't cheat.
Just today?
No, man.
Thank you. That's what I said.
We're celebrating.
For one
we're
day, y'all not
celebrating
cheating?
monogamy.
Okay.
And
For
men
one
that
day.
are faithful
Black men
to
don't
their
cheat.
women. We're celebrating.
I've been married
Who are
18 years. He been married.
Me,
Hello.
him,
Yes.
you.
Yeah, you. Yeah.
Okay.
Has it been hard to be faithful all these years, especially being in Hollywood?
It got nothing to do with Hollywood. People keep saying that shit. It's like,
Everybody cheats. It don't matter if you where you work.
The divorce rate is the same everywhere.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, but
it ain't just Hollywood.
Like Chris Rock said, a man is only faithful as his options. Stars get way more options.
So do doctors.
That's true.
Doctors
do
are the number
lawyers.
one on
Yeah,
the list
yeah,
of
yeah.
cheating, actually.
So do pro tennis players, golfers, race car drivers,
The guy who works in the cell phone store.
the manager.
That ain't true.
Right.
Yeah,
Yes,
knock
it
it
is.
off. The man in
Right.
the cell phone
They
store
need
ain't
people
getting
every
as much-
single day coming
No.
in and out of there, setting up phones.
Yeah, he is.
No.
Definitely true.
He ain't getting
No.
the options as an athlete.
Yeah, the
now.
cell
The
phone.
manager at Walmart.
Definitely
You know,
has
everybody.
options.
You know what you talking about?
So has it been easy or hard for you to remain faithful?
I guess it's easy. I mean, I'm an only child, so I'm very comfortable with myself. I like being alone, so I know how to entertain myself.
That sounds crazy.
Yeah, that sounds like
I
you
don't
got a lot of lotion on deck, which is good.
Well, that's fine too. But once I got sober, it was easier for me to be comfortable with me. I didn't need to validate my existence with other people or other things or substances or praise from people. I mean, was using, and I started to get a little famous. I used to like leave a hotel just to see how many people recognize me.
Yeah.
You know, or that kind of shit. You know, trying to get a
Ego
validation.
Ego
Right.
boost.
Seeing what it meant. Because I could be with people who were in movies with me, and they had a bigger role, and people, oh my God, you were awesome, and I could be standing and they didn't even know who I was.
Right.
Damn. So it's easier not to fall prey to what people tell you about yourself, or feel the smoke being blown up your ass, or take the praise for what it is, or understand that, okay, if I do this, it's gonna be more trouble than it's worth.
That's right.
You know, so a moment of instant gratification is not, you know, as valid as the relationships that I have, or that I've, you know, the history that I've created with somebody that I really care.
And
There's
that's exactly why black men don't
There
cheat.
you go.
That's not true. But there's probably nowhere.
That's exactly why.
He's looking at you
No,
like
it
you're
ain't.
crazy.
Will you sell out? Whose side you on?
I'm just saying.
He's reality here. Now, there's probably nowhere you can go now where people don't recognize you.
Actually, there are.
Like where? I can't imagine that, because I feel like everybody in every genre, no matter age, knows who you are.
Interestingly enough, you know, we at one point I belonged to this group, Artists for New South Africa, and we went to we identified these kids whose parents had died from AIDS in this village, and we kind of built a daycare center, dug a well, and did all this stuff. We went out there to see them. They had no idea who we were.
Wow.
You know, because they don't have electricity. So no TVs, no movie theaters, no nothing. We're just these people who did something, you know, and helped them. That's them. I was in Tiananmen Square. I could walk around Beijing pretty much free.
Really? I would think in Beijing they would know you.
All depends on what part of town.
Right.
But there's specific parts of town that, or the country, that people don't have movie theaters, and they aren't allowed to see. They only let like 10 American movies in the country a year. You know, so it's very different in, you know, China.
Are there times that it gets frustrating for you to go out and a lot of people do know who you are, obviously, to go out and know that you're going to have to deal with that? Are you ever like, I don't even feel like leaving because I don't really feel like it today?
No, that's one thing I don't let happen. I'm not gonna let, you know, fans dictate where I can and can't go, or what I can and can't do. Like I was this guy way before I was a famous guy. So I know how to put headphones on and do like that, even if it's not on. So when people are going, Sam, I just keep,
Well, now they know.
I keep walking.
Well, you was in L.A. You got mistaken for Lawrence Fishburne when you was on KTLA.
I was actually in Atlanta in the studio.
I was in Atlanta. Okay.
I was in the studio that morning doing remotes, and he caught me when I was, you know, just frustrated enough. Hadn't been in there about an hour, changing radio stations and TV stations every 8 minutes or whatever. He just caught me at a bad time.
That had to piss you. I mean, that would have pissed me off too. That had to piss you off.
Well, no, really. I was just messing with him because I know Sam knows better.
Yeah.
He just caught me at a bad time. And I just decided to, you know, not let him off the hook. I couldn't let him off the hook at any point. It's just, why not? I'm having fun now.
Why not?
I love the fact that when you do your movies, I was watching an interview that you said that if they bring you something that you don't like, you just won't do it. You won't try it. We're not going to tape it. I'm not going to change my life or how I feel about anything. And when did you get to that point? Or was it always like that?
When the first time a director said to me, all right, we'll do it your way and we're going to try it this way. And then I had to understand, I don't get to go to the editing room. So when they ask you to do something that's not part of your plan, they're going to look at that thing that they asked you to do first because that's what they like.
Right.
You know, and there's a reason that he's on that side of the camera and I'm on this side of it. So, and once I figure out the hierarchy, you know, when you're a young actor, you pretty much can't do that. I mean, you go along with the program. But then when you figure out, you know, when they're shooting the money, it's like, I'm not going to do that because that's not what the character would do. And I got a plan to go from here to here to here to here to here. And you see something that they just put in there, you kind of go, I just threw off my whole plan. Like, you watch movies and you go, damn, that guy, he was doing this over there, and now he's feeling like this. That's because the director had something in his head that he wants him to do. So I generally go with the, y'all hired me for a reason, let me do what I do.
Now, I saw recently you were getting a tattoo removed. right? I saw on your Instagram you said tattoo removal.
Yeah, that's fake tattoo.
Oh, okay. I was like, what tattoo did you have that you were getting removed?
In Hitman's Bodyguard, I have all these crows
Okay.
that represent people that I killed, and there's a big tree on the back of my head with crows flying off of it. So she takes that off every day. She puts it on every day, and she takes it off. Yeah.
You talk about walking down the street. I know kids got to bother you because of the role of Nick Fury.
No.
They don't?
Kids generally don't. Their parents make their kids do it.
Got you.
Yeah.
Take a
Parents
picture
will
with him.
tell
Take a
them,
picture with him.
That's Frozone, baby. And you can see the kid going, no, that's not. No.
The role of Nick Fury, you got that role because they were already modeling the character after you in the comics.
Yeah, in Ultimates.
Because the writer said that
Mark Miller.
Yeah, Mark Miller said you was his favorite actor. So did you?
Yeah,
ever,
he also did the guy in Kingsman.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Did you ever want to sue them?
No.
At all? Like they was using your likeness?
Well, it was the first book. I saw it in the first comic, and I called my agent and asked about it, and they called Marvel, and they were like, "Oh yeah, we do plan to make these movies, and we hope Sam will be part of it." And that's when I went in and I got that 9-picture deal.
Wow.
There you
so
go.
it all worked out.
That's the plan. Have you ever hated a character you had to play? Because there's characters that you've had to play and we're like, that person is like in Django.
He doesn't mind
Steven
playing the
from
villain.
Django.
That's right. He don't
Steven.
mind playing the villain.
Talking about
You know, but people definitely.
Steven had his fans.
Yeah, Uncle Ruckus. And
A lot of people like Steven just because Steven is unapologetically evil. Steven is who Steven is. And I had a great time playing Steven.
yeah, they always use that as a meme on social media now. Whenever they want to call somebody a sellout, Uncle Tom,
All the time.
that meme pops up. Anybody ever tried you
I
like
don't
that?
mind that.
Yeah.
That character made so many people so mad.
Listen,
It's
watching-
acting though. It's
I know,
supposed to.
and that's the point of it.
listen, I did stuff in that movie that's not in the movie that really would have
Like
made
what?
you mad.
Really
Hopefully
that bad?
one of these days Quentin will put it out there.
Oh my God, I can't
He
imagine.
was like, I
'Cause
don't want people to kill you. Because that's another case where I saw the movie. It's like, man, what happened to my scene? It's a little too much.
I can't even imagine what he might have done that was worse than what we saw.
Really?
I mean, I can in my head, but
Yeah.
Would you do that role in this political climate? You know, you got all these woke people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a role. You know, I mean, when people ask about it, I mean, actors should be able to
yeah,
portray whatever they need to portray.
you played it very well, too well.
Thank you.
I was like, damn it, I can't. I really like him, but I really don't like him today.
That's what a good
Yeah,
actor supposed
that
to
is
do.
true.
Now Samuel Jackson got to leave in the second, guys.
But you still enjoyed him.
I did enjoy it.
come
He
on.
definitely made
You
that movie.
enjoyed
You're right,
Who
you're
that
right.
nigga on that nag?
That was
You
the
just
villain.
come on now. As soon as you saw him, he's like, oh my God, what is he talking about? In the big house? He gonna sleep in the big house? What? Come on
now you predicted Donald Trump was going to be in office, right? Now what predictions do you have now? You got any predictions for next year, 2020?
Not really. I haven't found that right person yet. I'm still trying to figure out who's gonna help us with the resistance. Who is that person? I don't know who that person is just yet. You know, I'm looking for somebody with a bit more political clout that's more like Stacey Abrams.
Right.
You know?
So nobody stands out to you.
No.
Man, they got the whole Avengers on the Democratic side, and not one.
Not yet.
Not yet. I mean, it's not like I'm not gonna vote
Right.
for whoever's on that side.
Yeah.
I just hope that there's a credible person that can inflame the young people and encourage them to get out and take part of the political process again and understand that, you know, they got to claim it. Even if you don't like the people that are doing it right now, you got to do something to claim it. Talk to people that you think are smart enough or people that are angry enough that will get in there and work toward making this, you know, a better place. 'Cause I'm not going to be here that much longer. I get it, and I know it. But I don't want to leave a place where my daughter and even you guys have got to struggle with assholes that don't care about your well-being or the planet.
Do you think
They not only don't care about the people, they don't care about the place.
Right.
can the government ever really do anything for black and brown people though?
Of course they can.
Can they?
Yeah. Yeah. Universal health care is one thing.
Yeah.
You know, if they finally get it
Education.
and allow people to get healthy and be healthy, and Social Security, you know, people worked all their lives, you know,
Right.
give them the fucking money. They put it in there.
I just feel like we've been screaming about the same thing for years. And
Yes,
years
we
and years.
have. And because who's running it?
Yeah.
The same people that want to regulate women's bodies, you know? Because I don't even think all that's about, you know, all women's bodies. Because they don't care if y'all still get abortions.
Right, at all.
They just want to stop everybody else from getting them.
That's why I don't like you saying you're not going to be here because you 70, but all of Joe Biden's 74. Why should I vote for him? He may not be here.
Well, you should vote for him if there's no other choice,
Right.
because there's no other choice.
Yeah.
But you're right. You do want somebody who's vibrant that's going to be here. I mean, everybody probably would. We would have been happy if Barack could have had another term.
Absolutely.
You know, and this fool's talking about, well, I want to stay. He might not go. You know, that might start a whole nother fight, too.
I was
So
thinking
we never
that
know.
same thing, yeah.
You know.
Well, we appreciate you joining us. I know you got to go. Coming to America. Are you going to rob Prince Hakeem in this one? Are you in this one?
I asked them that because somebody was asking me about, you know, coming to America. And I was like, what? Y'all want me back? And I was like, do I own McDowell's now? And they said, I don't know. Maybe you just got out of jail and you go rob them again.
God damn, how much time you get for a robbery?
Let me know what's happening.
Or maybe he could be reformed. Yeah.
He was a super predator.
That's about right. Super predator, exactly. 94 crime.
Yeah.
No, I would like it if he was reformed and he actually had a business now and he, you know, had changed his life around.
That's your choice?
Yeah.
Okay, fine.
I'm a positive, optimistic person.
All right.
All right. Well, it's Samuel L. Jackson.
Thank you for
Thank
coming,
you.
my
Joining
brother.
us.
Appreciate you, man.
It's the
sir.
Breakfast
Great.
Club. Good morning.